You're good.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Trustee Trombley.
Here.
Trustee Malinsky. Here. Trustee Connor.
Here.
Mayor McFetrich.
Here.
Joel is not here.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Presentation of petitions, communications, and general questions from members of the community. So we do have a member of the community here. Thank you, Jax. Do you want to maybe introduce yourself and just...
So my name is Jax. I'm here because we are working with the village of Champlain to start a climate smart community. We are starting a task force similar to Plattsburgh, and I'm going to be one of the people helping to coordinate that.
Yes, awesome. So welcome, welcome. Thanks for your interest. We had a great meeting last week. Anything else? That's all right. I'm not saying anything else. It's just I didn't want to cut you off. Because Jax is here, if you don't mind, I'm going to move that resolution up on the agenda so he can be here to hear it, which I know this is a lengthy agenda. So that is resolution number...
We're gonna call that 8, right?
Yes, we're calling that 8. Yes, that's why I hesitated. So that's 8, and that's the climate smart community.
Ash tree removal is not a resolution.
Okay.
It's an agreement.
Okay, just a second. I just have to get down to that part. Here we go. All right. So this is a resolution to appoint the Climate Smart Communities Coordinator and members of the Village of Champlain Climate Smart Task Force. Whereas the Village of Champlain is dedicated to achieving a Climate Smart Community certification, whereas one of the mandatory action items to be certified is appointing a Climate Smart Community Task Force and a coordinator. Whereas the CSC Task Force serves as a central body of leadership that promotes and supports climate mitigation and adaptation in the community. And whereas the role of the CSC Task Force is to assess the status and or feasibility of action items in the CSC certification program, and will act as an advisory board that collaborates with village elected officials and staff to accomplish plans, programs, and activities that are part of the CSC certification program. And whereas the Climate Smart Community Coordinator coordinates the activities of the CSC Task Force and serves as a liaison between the task force and the officials of the Village of Champlain. Whereas any recommendations made by the CSC Task Force will be in close consultation with village staff and require approval for implementation by the village board. And it is hereby resolved that a Climate Smart Community Task Force be initiated with the initial voting membership list below. And be it further resolved that the appointments of the members of the task force require a majority vote of the village board. Whereas individuals have expressed interest in joining the Village of Champlain Climate Smart Task Force. Regan Cushing, Will Grones, Tia Legge, Lois McClurg, Jana McFetrich, and Jax Romat, who is listed as the coordinator. Be it further resolved that appointments of members of the task force require a majority vote of the village board. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any other questions or discussion? Roll call, Mary?
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky. Aye. Trustee Connor.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. Oh my gosh. Extreme winter weather. Wow.
I thought when I silenced my phone, that would
Be off.
No.
Guess not.
Yeah, I had mine silenced
Me
too,
too,
so
I
it
didn't see
Well, I
overrides
had my
that,
phone
doesn't it?
off, so I didn't get it.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right. Wow. So that motion carried. We now have a task force and we have a coordinator, and thank you so much for stepping up. It's a great enthusiastic group, and I look forward to working with all of you, and I think we all look forward to working with you. I believe we scheduled a meeting for early December.
I believe so, yeah.
Might have been the first.
It's the first Monday. It'll end up being the first. I have it in a different.
Yeah, I think it is the first, and the board, if you're interested in participating, listening, joining in, please come. All right, thank you. You're welcome to stay if you want.
I'm gonna get going with the weather.
Yeah. Be careful.
Thank you for.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is the report from the code enforcement officer. He gave me that lengthy report in order to share, or to save paper. I wrote down the ones that dealt with the village of Champlain, and I photocopied those for you. And so you can see that there was one inspection and 3 cases that are all in progress. Do you have anything you want me to share with the code enforcement officer?
So all of these that are in progress, has he issued a citation or a violation
Yeah.
to them? Okay.
Yes. And they're making a move to rectify it.
All of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Oops. All right, here's the mayor's report. Welcome to the Village of Champlain Board of Trustees meeting. It looks like winter is arriving. Well, I guess I wrote this on Friday, so winter has arrived. Although we did have a beautiful fall. Once again, I remind you that vehicles cannot be parked on the streets between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. to allow the plows to pass through. Also remove garbage cans from the sidewalk area as soon as the garbage collectors have picked up the trash. This will allow the sidewalk plow to push the snow aside. We have several projects going on in the village. The comprehensive plan, which we have been working on for over a year, is nearing completion. We will be setting a public hearing tonight to be held next month, and we welcome your comments. This is an important document which will establish some goals for the next few years and will help set us up for potential funding to accomplish these tasks. This is your village, and we really do want to hear from you. We are working again with the Clinton County Health Department, this time on behalf of the Creating Healthy Schools and Communities grant. We did a walk audit to examine several village streets and sidewalks, including Main, Cedar, and Oak. The health department has also shared a survey to village residents, and they are studying the responses. I believe they got a pretty good response. Together, a concept plan will be developed and presented to this board so that we can select the projects that we want to implement. These projects will be completed in the spring and summer of 2026. The first meeting of the Climate Smart Community was held last week. Carly Leary, who is our coordinator from the Adirondack North Country Association, led the meeting. She explained the flexibility in how we proceed and the next steps that need to be taken. This group was very enthusiastic about working on certification. And tonight we voted on the resolution to officially accept the task force and its coordinator, and those were both required actions. I was able to obtain a grant from the New York State Urban Forestry Council to purchase several trees and plant them this fall. I invite you all to help plant a couple of trees in the new park that is at the corner of Church and Cedar Streets. And then attend a small celebration afterward at the Champlain Meeting House. This is happening on November 15th, this Saturday at 1 p.m. As a Tree City USA, the Village of Champlain is dedicated to caring for our trees and planting trees every year. Please save the date of December 13th for our annual Holiday Fest. There will be free hot chocolate, and of course, Santa will be arriving with gifts for all the kids. The tree lighting will take place, and we are also working on an event with some music. Details to follow on that shortly. Finally, I would like to add that I and the whole board is very well aware that many families are struggling with food insecurity. Times are hard, food is expensive, and with cold weather arriving, the heating bills will be high. The JCEO Food Pantry has been extremely busy with requests for assistance. As many know, there are two little libraries, one on Church Street and one on Main Street, as well as a box on Butternut Street, that are being filled with canned goods and boxed food daily. I really thank all of you who have contributed to this effort. The community's really stepped up. People are dropping off a lot of food. Champlain is a community who cares about its neighbors. If you see a need, or if you have a need, reach out to JCEO or to this office, and we will help you as best we can. Thank you so much. Okay, committee reports, just quickly go through these. Anything new with water and sewer? I don't have my list here. Yeah, Kim and Chuck. Nothing?
Just-
Mike's gonna address his
Right,
his
I'm
end of
sure.
it, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll just wait on yours. Streets and sidewalks,
The only thing, I know we're not doing any sidewalks this year, but the potholes that have come up in that cut across the road, will we get a better fix on that next year
Close the road where?
on Church Street?
Hopefully this, maybe next week.
Can you still do cold patch this time of year?
We're gonna try to do hot patch. We got, again, the Elm Street's gotta be done with it.
Oh, that's,
Trucks all broke up, so I've been trying to coordinate that.
okay.
Plant's closing the 21st.
Oh.
Tomorrow they're putting asphalt on. They won't be able to do that anyway. They're putting asphalt on the Amazon. They got like probably 2 days. They got asphalt that whole parking lot.
Okay.
So I'm hoping, we don't have any cold patch right now. We gotta get more. We use what we had.
Okay.
I got a couple spots on top of church that were ours. The one down below wasn't ours, but we're probably gonna end up having to patch it. And then I got a small spot on Oak Street, right on the edge of the roadway, just a really small.
Okay.
So I'm hoping the weather will cooperate enough. I'm probably gonna have to, if I can't do it, I'm gonna have to get a hot box, borrow a hot box. It's the only way to get it here to keep it cool enough to do it, so
yeah, okay.
that's the plan. Have it done. I mean, it's gonna be hard for us to plow. Just like the end of Elm, we gotta do something.
Yeah.
Can't stay like that, so.
Equipment and
But
tools.
they should be done before winter,
Okay.
Equipment and tools,
starting here.
no,
Nothing I'm aware of. Mike, anything equipment-wise, issues?
No, we still got some to send out. Loader's gotta go for service. The other Peterbilt's still gotta go. We just haven't, we've been so tied up with the sewer plant, we haven't been able to, and we used it the whole time, so I wasn't able to send a loader either. I'm hoping maybe this week or next week, see if they're freed up, we'll probably send a loader. We gotta get, I mean, there's gotta be stuff done, valves adjustments and stuff that we can't do, so.
okay. Buildings and property. Joel Mullins and Nikki. Yeah, Joel's been doing that. Parks and Recreation,
Oh, we have a new park? Just,
it's coming,
yeah,
yeah,
it
it's
is.
looking good,
We'll have trees there this weekend,
yeah,
so, yeah,
cool.
that was good.
Planning board has not met, zoning board has not met. Champlain Fire District, just that they changed their grand opening to the 16th with a food truck, I believe, and that's starting at 1. I encourage people to go. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town, but it's pretty exciting, and yeah, I encourage people to attend. Recreation, I don't have anything new on that, yeah. Okay. Reports from the trustees. Kim, you wanna start, please?
The water board has been presented to both boards. I encourage any questions. If you have questions about the report, I'll do my best to answer them. It's about a month late. It is what it is, but it's done, and we'll try to get it in earlier next year, but, does anybody have any questions on it?
No.
Just good work and
Good work.
thank the board for their efforts.
Yeah, tell everyone thank you, big thanks to you, I know that a lot of that falls on your shoulders. And it's very readable, like, I like the fact that I can just read through it and understand it, and I'm not like, wait, what does that mean?
I try to keep it very simple,
Yeah, no, it's,
because people need to understand it when they look at it, they don't need to read a paragraph and then have to go back and reread it and,
yeah,
to understand it.
yeah, so I thank you for that.
Do you want me to move the loader?
When would we be looking to
Do you want me
approve
to
that?
move the loader?
I have it listed, I think, on the agenda, right?
Well, I think
I mean, we can do that right now.
No, that's fine.
It's number 7 under new business, but we could do it right now, there's nothing wrong with that,
Okay.
we're talking about it.
I was hoping we were gonna approve it tonight.
Yeah,
Can I get-
well, let's
can I
have
get by you?
let's get a motion. Is there a motion to approve the water board report?
I gotta go.
Second?
I gotta go
Okay,
help Jimmy.
okay,
Okay,
Thank you.
so we do have someone else.
I saw the plow go by.
Just take my
Yeah.
stuff here.
Is everything okay?
He's stuck. Can't make it up to get sand.
Oh,
He can't, he's on Prospect sideways and he can't move.
okay.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
Imagine having it on a car, much less a
Yeah.
truck.
Wow. Yeah, it's falling so fast and furious. All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Who's the second?
Chuck. Any discussion, any questions from the board? If you wanna go to it, it's number 7 under new business. I don't know about you, but I had to number everything several times.
And I can't thank, Mary, Juanita, and Sarah enough, for all their help.
Oh, yeah.
Because they send things, I might lose them in the shuffle of my emails, and I re-ask, or have lots of questions, and they're very patient. So, they are a huge part of getting that report done.
Yeah, thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Without-
Juanita,
without
if you're
them.
watching this.
Without them, the report would not happen.
I don't have any questions at all. All right, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And then you will do the letter to the water board?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I will write myself a little reminder.
Thank you.
Okay. Nikki?
The holiday fest, December 13th, we'll have the children's activities at 1. We usually do 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we're doing the candy cane hunt.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do the cane, we'll set that for like 2:15. Cause we usually do 2:30, but then we always start early, but I don't want
Mhm.
people to miss out. I think we had a family come just after we started last
Okay.
year, so we'll say 2:15, then that way we'll have the hour of crafts and we'll make our way across the road and hopefully everyone will be able to participate, which will
Yeah.
same day, 13th, for the Christmas.
And the tree lighting is at 6?
6.
Okay, that's what,
And the Champlain Memorial Library, I know she's looking for Santa right now, but we'll do similar to what our Easter event is, so it's just a free come and sit with Santa, get your picture taken, and have a few little Christmas activities at the table, so.
Is that the same day?
No,
Okay.
I don't know what day she's going to set that at yet, depending on Santa's schedule, but we will announce that on the Facebook page.
Okay.
So that is coming.
No, you have one other thing.
Oh.
You have the Walk to Connect.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Yes, so we had a Walk to Connect group, walk the new trail at Corbu Creek, which is on Route 9. It's a nice little area. We only did half of it, and I'd like to make our way across the road and do the other part. But after our small group, we had 6 or 7 of us.
Yeah, I think there were 7.
There's a few. It was a beautiful day, and there was another couple that came later in the day, and since then I've heard a couple others go by and check it out because I had talked about it, so go out, check it out.
Yeah.
Right
Where
now,
is that?
a little slippery though, because there's a lot of leaves, but if you're going out of Champlain, it's after Little Valley Road and it's gonna be on the left.
Okay.
There's a small
Yeah.
trail sign, there's a
Okay.
small little parking area.
Never,
It's like in a field,
never
before
noticed
you
it.
get to the trees going into Sheezy.
Okay, never noticed it.
It's relatively, well, I think he's been developing it for a while,
Yeah.
but now they've got the little sign and it's being advertised more on the,
Champlain area trails.
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, if you look up their website, they would have the trail there on it, posted on it, the map of the trail. So the one we did was 1.2 miles, I think, in and back, in and out.
Yeah, it's nice.
There's even an Adirondack chair out there.
Nice. Which I did not take.
She did
with
not
me.
bring. Yeah, there's a red chair in the middle of the woods. Yeah, and there's a lot of little arrows on the trees to mark the path, which was very helpful. So, yeah, check it out.
Thank you, Nikki. Thanks for organizing that.
Forgot all about it.
It
I
was,
actually just talked about it this morning.
it was really,
You're welcome.
it was a
Thank
great,
you.
it was a great walk. Chuck?
Don't have much, one thing that I wanna mention to the public, the parking lot out front here is not a parking lot for the general public. We use this as for our meetings and workplace, and we can't have people parking there, and also when it snows, we need to be able to plow that. There's a car there tonight, should not be there,
There's one yesterday too.
and
when I came in.
I think either a note should be put on the car saying you cannot park here, or letters sent out if you know who actually is parking there. That's it.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Report from the clerk treasurer?
Everybody has their revenues and expenses. We gotta look at the transfers that we do need to make
Yeah, let's do those transfers first.
first before we do the warrant. To A 8010.2 codes equipment, 1389, from A 5142.4 snow removal contractual, 1389, that's for the codes officer's new computer. And to A 7310.4 youth contractual, $290, from A 7110.4 parks contractual to $290. That's for the youth program, that we share with the town.
We have a motion to approve these transfers.
So moved.
In a second,
Second.
any questions?
For the, moving from the snow removal, do we have enough money there to be moving to the codes equipment?
We haven't really used anything at all until this warrant, well, actually this payroll. nothing else has come out of that yet.
Right, I'm
So-
just concerned that, you
Yeah.
know, that's an account that we'll use throughout the winter, and we
Yeah,
really don't wanna
no, we don't wanna use
expend
it
money
up.
out of that account,
We'll just have to keep an eye on that.
yeah.
Mhm. All right, any other questions? Roll call?
Trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
Aye.
trustee Connor,
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
Okay.
And then should we go ahead and do that, since it's on the same,
Sure.
right below, let's do the water line replacement.
Yeah, we have one bill from Barton Ladudas for $155.74.
We have a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Second,
Any questions? Roll call?
Trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
Aye.
trustee Connor,
aye,
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. All right, so we've got the presentation of the warrant and the payment. And there are some additional invoices.
We have a warrant of $31,822.85 with additional invoices of $6,365.92 for a total of $38,188.77.
Okay, let's get the motion on the floor. Yeah, someone move to pay this with the additional invoices?
Someone.
Second.
Okay, any questions?
now for the Peterbilt bill, it says hood, what was wrong with the hood, anybody?
It wasn't a very big part of that bill. The biggest part was the fender.
Was there something wrong?
They had to get the state inspection done, rear fender. Repair hood, customer state's hood needs to be adjusted. And that was $165.
So it wasn't damage to the hood or fender?
It looks like, I'm not sure what happened to the fender.
Maybe something got hit.
Yeah, repair rear fender, customer request right rear fender is broken. Now, X-Flex vibro edge, so things that,
You don't know.
that was the biggest part, that was $547 plus parts to go with that.
Okay.
That was,
Well, we'll have to ask for the details on how that
Right.
happened. Yeah. I can let you know. Any other questions or comments?
I'm looking at USDA Rural Development, Village of Champlain, ending balance 7195. Oh, I just lost it.
That's the-
7195.54.
That's the snowplow loan, I believe, right?
where we,
USDA,
On page 2, towards the bottom, third from the bottom.
yes, that's to pay it off.
that's to pay off that loan that we had for the snowplow.
Yeah. To
Okay.
pay it off, that's our last payment. I'm having a hard time reaching them.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that we send our check out, it gets processed. It's not, nothing is, it's not going to be late, it's a final payment on our end, nothing else is late. We had an interest payment that was, it's always scheduled to come out automatically, but I'm not sure that did, as of last week, it had not yet come out. After, a couple of weeks after the date that it was supposed to have been withdrawn.
I think Juanita said she was having trouble reaching anyone who was, there was no one at, Any-
Everyone is on furlough and did not have access to their emails or phones. So
hopefully
hopefully that ends soon.
Yes. All right, any other questions? Roll call?
Trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
Aye.
trustee Connor,
Aye,
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. All right, just a second here, I'll read the stuff. Okay, let's see. Well, I guess I'll skip the report from the superintendent. I can tell you they continue to work very, very hard on the sewer plant, and it is completed.
It
It is completed. And he said that he told me this afternoon that they should be able to take some outside haulers, soon.
Great.
Okay, but they've been doing a lot of other things too.
Yeah.
I'll just, I'll email you, how about I email you his report? Okay.
Have we come up with a dollar figure for haulers?
I don't know the answer.
I'd like to know what it is. I think we should all know what it is.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, I think previously it was either $70 or $75 per 1,000 gallons, maybe, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
I
that
can't
too, but I
remember
I don't remember, so I don't wanna try to guess.
Okay, so we won't guess.
Well, I mean, we
You could
can guess, but,
I can look it up.
I'm
It's,
probably.
No, that's okay.
You know, a previous bill.
Yeah, and, costs have gone up on everything, so my guess is that probably would increase a bit too. And I don't know what the going rate is. Okay, correspondence.
Correspondence from Clinton County Treasurer with third quarter sales tax revenue. Correspondence from New York State Urban Forestry Council regarding Tree City USA grant. Letter from Crystal Catalano regarding solar panels. Correspondence from PERMA regarding $5,000 grant for slip and fall prevention. Correspondence from New York State Home and Community Renewal regarding pro-housing community program.
I'm just gonna make a couple of comments on some of the correspondence. Under the PERMA one, this was a grant that I applied for, and it's focusing on slip and fall prevention. There's a company called New Pig Products. A representative, we will set up with Mike to come and do an assessment of the buildings, and then recommend products, and we qualified for up to $5,000 in products. So that's pretty exciting. And then we did get recertified as a pro-housing community. That's gonna come up near the end of the meeting when we're talking about some of the grants available from Lake Champlain, Lake George Planning Board. So I just mentioned that. All right, so under new business, we have some resolutions. Okay, just gonna take a sip of water. All right, the first one is resolution number 4, 2025. This is designating March 18th, 2026. Sorry, Mary, I'm gonna change that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
2026.
As a village election day, whereas election law 15-1041.1A states that general village elections be held on the third Tuesday in March, and whereas election law 15-1041B states that in any village in which general village election is scheduled to be held on the third Tuesday of March for any year in which the 17th day of March shall fall on such Tuesday, the Board of Trustees of said village shall provide that such election shall be held on the 18th. Whereas in the year 2026, the third Tuesday in March falls on March 17th. Therefore, the Village of Champlain Board of Trustees designates Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 as the Village of Champlain official election day. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
And we also need a roll call.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Connor.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. All right, so you can't have an election on St. Patrick's Day.
Too much going on.
Too much going on. Resolution number 5-2025. This is the intermunicipal water agreement between the town of Champlain, the village of Champlain, and the Champlain Fire District. So, okay, I'll read it and then we can discuss it, because personally I had a couple of questions and I wanted the board to weigh in on, but I'll start by reading it. Whereas the village of Champlain owns and operates a consolidated water service facility serving its residents and town residents through a delivery system and a water treatment plant. And whereas the town operates a portion of this delivery system within the town limits, titled as Water District Number 6. And whereas the Champlain Fire District has constructed a new fire station at 11006 Route 9, Champlain, New York, within Water District 6. And whereas the town and the village will supply water as per the intermunicipal agreement, the IMA, between the town and the village of Champlain and the Champlain Fire District at $0 per kgal, no charge, to the Champlain Fire District upon the terms set forth therein, the agreement for a 35-year period commencing on November 1st, 2025, unless earlier terminated pursuant to the provisions thereof or as otherwise provided by law or regulation. And whereas it is further recorded that the town will charge the Champlain Fire District the standard service fee for water users as per annual budget appropriations, and now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Champlain does hereby approve entering into this IMA between the Village of Champlain, the Champlain Fire District, and the town of Champlain. And be it further resolved that a roll call vote is carried to approve said resolution. So, let's see, do we need a motion first to discuss? I think we do. So could someone move?
I make a motion.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so my couple of questions that I had that I wanted the board to weigh in on is 35 years is just a really long time. I wonder if, and there'll be a complete changeover of people and personalities and, I mean, in all three of those groups. I wonder why we don't have it a little shorter.
I think it can be. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
it is a long period of time, 35 years. Who knows what's gonna happen 10 years down the road? You never know.
Well, I think, I'm fine with the 35 years. But it does have a clause in there that says unless earlier terminated pursuant to the provisions thereof or as otherwise provided by law or regulations. So there is a clause in there in case something were to happen.
I guess I'm not thinking so much as if something were to happen, because something probably will happen and they will look at it again. But I'm wondering if some conditions just might change. So you might, by looking at it, say every 3 years, you might go, oh, wait a minute, you know, maybe we should revisit this, which is not a bad thing. It's not saying you're gonna throw it out, it's just, I don't know. Personally, I think I'd rather be visiting something every year or 2 or 3, rather than say, okay, in 35 years, I'm afraid it'll just be completely, like, off the table.
We'll forget about it. It's a long time.
I mean, do we have anything that we go that far out, that many years, an agreement?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, you have water project.
Funding.
Well,
I
funding,
mean-
yeah, the funding, but that's a
Yes,
done deal.
yeah.
You don't get to renegotiate that. You don't get to say, hey, wait a minute, this changed and now we want the terms different.
Right.
And who's gonna remember to do this? Because as we saw, the water tank contract fell through where that was supposed to be reviewed and it was supposed to be reviewed in July and it fell through the cracks.
Well, I think making it a long one is just kicking the can way down the road. I just think like 3 years, you put it on a calendar, some kind of electronic calendar, and then it comes up as you know, oh, you have to do this next month. So it's on, it's in your mind.
So what you're thinking is that, so boards change, another board may come in and say, no, they're gonna start charging the fire department for water.
Well, not I mean,
But this kind of, the way this is written kind of ensures that it stays that way.
oh, is that the goal of it?
No, that's my opinion. I don't know what the goal of it is.
Oh,
But if boards change and you have another board that comes in and says, well,
Are they even gonna know about it if they don't read it? If it's pushed aside for 35 years, they're
Yeah.
not even gonna know
welcome, Joel.
what the agreement is.
I mean, we have old
That's a
agreements
nice one,
from 20, 30 years ago that sometimes I pick up and go, wow, I didn't know they did this. Like,
Yeah, it's
a
true.
long time ago, that I'm not even aware
And
of.
it's just to revisit, just to, so
I mean-
everyone knows.
Let's say, for example, I'm just making this up, and this, it's probably not even gonna happen, so this is hypothetical. Let's just say that fire district, they have a great facility now, and they're going to start using that space for gatherings. So they're going to allow people to either rent it out or whatever, so they're gonna use a lot of water. Like outside people come in to have a big event.
okay, so then what do you, okay. And if, in that case, how are you gonna charge them water?
The town may decide they want to, because so much is being used, I mean, it is in the town. I don't know, if the water use like tripled or something, they might say, well, you know, this doesn't really seem fair. I don't know, I just think 35 years is a long time. That's just my opinion.
35 years for the water agreement?
For the, with the fire department.
Yeah. I think it could be longer than 3 years,
You think what,
longer than 3 years.
longer than 3,
Yeah.
5?
Yeah, 5 or 10. We don't want it so far out that it's forgotten.
I agree.
That's what you're working on now, is the IMA? for
Yeah, we're talking about that with the fire department.
So I got some things for that you probably should, think about, or did you share any?
No, not really, all I shared was I think 35 years is too, I think it's too long, but. Do you wanna,
Yeah, so I have some things that you probably wanna consider before signing an agreement. One is I'm suggesting they install another meter for their domestic water inside the building. And this water can be paid for separately from what's drawn for fires. This water really should be paid by the entire district, not just the water users, which are the village residents and the few town users, because really the rest of the district's not paying for that water. I mean, that's something they can look at and see how much at the end of the year, and when they do the taxes for the fire department, I mean, that could be, that whatever that amount is, that could be onto the taxes, where everybody would pay for it, instead of just the village residents that are water users and the few town residents that are water users. Just think it's a more fair, and it would help keep the rates down some. That was one thing. Another thing is, I witnessed washing of personal vehicles, posts on Facebook, people are washing their personal vehicles there. I know one member used to come to the station here in Champlain and bring jugs and jugs of water home, so he wouldn't have to pay water and sewer rates at home. He'd take it from the station. I mean, that's not fair either. There should be some kind of verbiage in that IMA, you know, when it's possible, draw from dry hydrants. I know it's easier to draw from in the building, but whatever they can draw from dry hydrants, it's not treated water. So there's less of a cost to the people that are paying for that water. And I know the dry hydrants were just fixed. That's another way to check them to make sure that they're in operation. Um, I think that the IMA, there should be something in there, it probably should be looked at annually. I mean, they're gonna have a room there that's gonna be used, there's gonna be, if there's more usage, there's gonna be more users. 35 years is a long time, I don't think that's in the best interest of anybody to sign a IMA for that long. I mean, it's not hard to look at it, see what you have, and you know, when you have a board meeting, re-sign annually, at least for the first year or so, and see how much is used. And I don't know, the fire department, if they get any kind of reimbursements from like insurance companies or anything, but if not, that's something they should look into. I mean, like, you take an ambulance ride with EMS, you get billed for an ambulance ride. I don't know if that's something as far as, that they can get reimbursed for. I don't know if any of the trustees had went to any of the meetings or talked to the fire department. I mean, they receive free water for however many years this fire department's been here in the village. Free water, the village residents paid for that water. There's nobody else in the district that paid for it other than the village residents. I just, you know, there should have been, some kind of talk there, and maybe some kind of reduction, even in price to keep it in the village, where the village could afford to purchase the building. But I don't think anybody went to them and even spoke to them about it. But I think there is a few things that need to be, you know, they have to have some kind of rules. It's kind of a generic, the sheet's kind of a generic sheet. There's not really any guidelines, any rules, but there should be something there that, you know, we should try to limit the usage, and the water that is used inside. I mean, that really should be paid for. Somebody's making a profit off of it. I mean, it used to be we got the service line charge because it was here in the village. Now, we're not even gonna get that. That's gonna go to the town. Whatever the service charge is, that's going to the town. So the village residents are losing even more, really. But that's all things that I think need to be looked at.
Thank you, Mike. How does the board wanna proceed?
Well, I think Mike's brought up some good questions. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to have a separate meter to at least see how much usage there is first year.
Internal versus what they're drawing
Right.
for.
And, I mean, we don't necessarily have to charge them anything, but just get an idea of what type of usage they have or for future reference. And then, I mean, the town will have a good idea of what that usage will be and go accordingly. I mean, I'm sure the town would like to know what's going on there.
Yeah.
But don't we think that should be the town decision?
Yeah, but we're all signing this.
I
so-
agree.
Yeah, so they may not wanna sign either. I mean, these are pretty good points.
I mean, right now, as it stands, just the water users are paying for all the water that's getting drawn
Right.
there. Cause that's all incorporated in the cost of the, per thousand for water. You know, the chemicals, the electricity, the manpower, all that, really that's only getting paid by the users, that's not the whole district. Really, that should be the whole district paying for that, it shouldn't be just limited to,
The whole fire district.
yeah, the whole fire district,
all-
which
all
it
of
would
the
have to go like to the
residents,
taxes if that makes
Right.
sense. I mean, I think that's what the EMS does, whatever they need, you know, to make their budget. I think the town uses the total number of dollar for all the assessments and say it's gonna be this much per thousand, and that's how they really should be the same way for the fire district,
Sorry.
if that makes
I don't know
sense.
what
I
I did.
mean,
Yeah. Joel, did you wanna add something?
No, I was just trying to clarify. So, okay, so when he's saying users, you mean the fire district users as opposed to just the village and the town, or?
so right now, they don't pay for the water, so that cost, there's still a cost for that water.
course,
So,
yeah.
you know, the electricity, the chemicals, the manpower, so that's part of our yearly cost to produce that water.
Mhm.
And we only, whatever we sold it, you know, you look at it and say, okay, we gotta raise the rates because we didn't make enough.
Mhm.
So instead of just the village residents paying that, if they were to pay that water, even if they do it the following year, if we see the amount that they're using, hey, it would be this much, that much could be added to the taxes. Where instead of just coming off from the users now, it would be on the taxes, and that money would be reimbursed back into the water fund. So that way it'd be broadcasted across the whole district versus just the people that have municipal water wouldn't be paying for the whole district, just to make it fair. I don't pay for it at my house, but the other way I would pay for it at my house. You know,
Because,
right
we
now,
all get fire protection.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course.
it just makes more sense, more fair if the whole district that's they're covering is paying for it versus just the people that are on the municipal water. If that makes sense, does that make sense how I'm
Yeah,
presenting it?
I
Yeah,
understand.
It just would be a less of a burden on just the water users, you know? And it may not come out to a big difference, but without really looking at that, you really don't know, you know? And that's why I said even if they do it annually, at least you have a way to look at it next year and say, okay, whoa, we gotta do something different, or it's not a problem, we just sign it again.
yeah.
It's just 35 years is a long time, and a lot can happen in the next, 35 years.
I kind of think we need to continue the discussion with the town. Like, I think they would wanna discuss some of this.
Some ideas I
These
thought of
points.
to bring up that maybe nobody had thought of.
And then the other thing that I was thinking about, Kim, is the water board would probably wanna weigh in on this, because they're looking at, like, let's say for a year we have a domestic meter, and then they look at that, and maybe it won't show much of anything, but maybe it will, and then maybe the water board would have a recommendation on that. Cause it is water usage. I don't know, I'm just thinking that might be appropriate.
Well, we never made recommendations to the fire department in Champlain, so
Yeah, you
what-
did, you told us to
Well-
to send a letter to have them meter it.
For drawing.
Right, I know, but still. Wouldn't it still be similar to that?
I guess.
I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong.
I don't see where it'd be an issue of putting a separate meter in for water usage other than filling trucks. Don't have to be charging anybody at this point, not that we're gonna charge anybody.
Well, that's yeah.
But at least we have an idea what the usage is, and the town will definitely have an idea, and the water board would have an idea. What type of usage is for firefighting and usage within the station.
It's a big building, you start having a lot of events, then, like I say, the village, ones that are on the water are the ones paying for all their events, but it really should be the whole district.
And I guess I've never thought about the fire district, being charged as compared to just the,
But I suppose way back it was village-owned fire department, so
Right.
at that
Yeah,
point it
right.
didn't matter.
Yeah,
But
So, I
once
mean,
they
that-
changed, it should have really went to the whole district and not still just been the village residents back then until a couple years ago. It was just the village residents paying for all the
that
years.
could be included in the fire district budget as compared to,
It's just a thought, I mean, would just be more, it would be more fair to be spread on all the district versus just the water users.
So what do we agree on?
well, so there's a motion. And we have to vote on that, or amend it. Which way do you wanna go? I mean, do you wanna vote on the accepting this, this resolution? Which, then means that we approve of it as stands? Or do you want to amend it, or do you want to vote on it and then see where it goes and then have another motion if needed? It's up to you.
I would amend the number of years.
So what was the initial motion?
Well, the initial motion is to accept as written. And I think the bigger question is the 35 years. But then we've got some concerns that it should be looked at more often than at 35. I'd really like to hear what the town has to say, because I think they might like that analyzation of the first year, to just see what the usage is. But we can't change it and vote on it, because we need to work with them on it.
I think it's worth talking about. Anything, at least for me, signing anything 35 years in advance, I'd rather talk to them and see what they think. I agree with Mike, I think that's completely reasonable. I'm 100% in favor of giving free water as a public service for people to fight fires, but, you know, to make Sunday dinner or whatever, then maybe that's not, maybe we need to rethink how we're allocating our resources, because eventually we're not gonna have as many as we might have now.
Well, like I said, the village won't be making anything on this, but town district may be more equal, like Mike says, if there is going to be any kind of charge.
It's a service charge that they'll get. We used to get the service charge, but they'll be getting the service charge now.
Right,
We won't get, so we'll be, further
But
back.
they, you know, I don't have a problem with that.
Right,
But spreading it out over the whole district,
I mean, right now, I don't pay where I live,
right,
but it would be more users,
yeah.
and it probably won't be a big difference.
Okay, well, let's vote, just to move forward, let's vote first on this as it stands, because that's our motion. Is that all right? Okay. Roll call, Mary?
Trustee Champlain,
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
Nay.
trustee Connor,
nay,
Mayor McFetrich.
Nay, there's Joel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna abstain.
Abstain? Okay, Mayor McFetrich. Nay.
Nay. So how do you want to proceed? Do you want me to reach out to the town supervisor and explain some of our concerns? Or,
I think that
write
would
write an
be,
email and CC you on it?
So,
Ask-
this, the agreement that we're signing, this is to create a new agreement. How, was there a previous one before this?
Between the village and the fire department, we had an agreement, but now,
Okay,
but now
okay,
the town.
not with all three.
Because now it's
Oh, okay.
located in the town.
Alright.
And there's going to be an agreement, and we're not gonna charge for water, because it's, you know, it's a public entity,
Where-
that's my feeling.
Where does the 35-year number come from? Is that just like a normal, like
No.
typical standard, or
No.
that was just something that we thought of?
Is it
'Cause
the
this is-
length of
I've
the
never-
loan, is it the length of the loan of the fire district building?
no,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, that will be a question.
but I think if your conversation with the town, you and the supervisor would be warranted. And see, you know, explain the concerns that we may have and go from there. I mean, it's not, doesn't have to be passed tonight.
No,
I mean, we want it done right instead as compared to just push something through.
okay,
Just the point here is that we have a billing December 1st.
we have a building
A water billing December 1st.
For,
So
that goes to,
the town and village. We do our own billing, we bill the town. We
right,
do our readings and bill everybody, so.
What's that gonna change though?
If we're metering,
Well, right now,
Fire
it's not,
district.
is it in there,
We
do
would-
they own it right now, or is it still in the contractors?
we have an account for them that has a meter and a radio that reads.
Right. Is
So
it
are we
already
gonna
been turned
bill them
over?
for that, or are we not gonna bill them for that? Since we don't have any agreement there.
Has the fire department been turned over to the fire department, or does the contractor still own it? Because the
Okay,
contractors,
then we can bill the contractors?
yeah, I would assume, if it hasn't been
I don't
turned
know,
over, if
what
they're still.
what did we do before, Mary?
I think we billed the town,
Yeah,
And they bill the
and then the
contractor.
town,
so I mean, we're still billing as zero,
No,
right?
being what they
Well,
use for building
it's
the
being used
building,
by the contractors, we've been done.
using
Oh,
water.
because it's still under the contractors.
Yeah, well, the only matter in this building, still gonna get billed and go to the contractors, hasn't been turned over. They still
Well,
use water for the
that's-
last 3 months.
That's a question I'm gonna have to find out, so.
The town, right. Cause that's a town account.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll let you know the response. All right, so, public hearing for the comprehensive plan update. Let's see here. This is resolution number 6 of 2025. To receive and place on file the draft Town and Village of Champlain Joint Smart Growth Comprehensive Plan Update, and number 2, schedule a public hearing for the public comment on the draft Town and Village of Champlain Joint Smart Growth Comprehensive Plan Update. Whereas the Village of Champlain Board of Trustees has joined with the Town of Champlain Town Board to prepare the Town and Village of Champlain Joint Smart Growth Comprehensive Plan Update. Now therefore be it resolved that the board has received and placed on file the draft Town and Village of Champlain Joint Smart Growth Comprehensive Plan Update, prepared with the assistance of the consulting team of AES Northeast and Dr. Ann Russo Holland. The board acknowledges that the project was prepared with funding provided by the New York State Department of State under Title III of the Environmental Protection Fund. A public hearing shall be scheduled for Monday, December 8th, 2025 at 6:45 p.m. to receive public comment on the joint comprehensive plan. The notice of public hearing shall be published in the village's official newspaper at least 10 calendar days in advance of the hearing, and the draft comprehensive plan shall be made available for public review during said period at the office of the village clerk and shall be posted on the town village website. The content of the notice of public hearing shall be as follows: Village of Champlain, notice of public hearings, comprehensive plan update. Notice is hereby given that the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Champlain, Clinton County, State of New York will hold a public hearing on Monday, December 8th, 2025 at 6:45 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be heard at the village office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York, to consider the adoption of the update to the joint town-village comprehensive plan pursuant to Town Law 272-A and Village Law Section 7-722. The proposed comprehensive plan update outlines long-term goals, objectives, and strategies for land use, infrastructure, housing, natural resources, economic development, and other planning considerations within the town and village. The update reflects input from community members, stakeholders, and advisory committees, and is intended to guide future development and policy decisions. A full copy of the draft comprehensive plan update is available for public review at the village clerk's office during regular business hours and on the town's comprehensive plan website. All interested persons are invited to attend the hearing and will be given an opportunity to comment. Written comments may also be submitted by mail to Village Clerk 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York 12919, or by email to mayor@vchamplain.com, no later than the morning of December 8th, 2025. May I have a motion to accept this?
So,
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Champlain,
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
aye.
trustee Connor,
Aye.
trustee Herzog,
Aye.
and Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. Thank you. All right, next we have Resolution, number 7, designating offices to be filled at election. 2026 elections, Village of Champlain. Whereas the next village election for offices of the Village of Champlain, New York will be held on March 18th, 2026. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Champlain must designate by resolution and publish offices which are to be filled at such election, and the terms thereof, be it therefore resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Champlain has determined the following offices to be filled and to be voted thereupon, with the terms of such offices respectively noted as follows. Trustee, term 2 years, trustee, term 2 years. Be it further resolved that as required by village law 15-104, 3A, notice of village elections be given at least 4 months prior to election date, and that the office to be voted upon be included in the notice. This resolution shall take effect immediately. May I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Chombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Connor.
Aye.
Trustee Herzog.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. The ash tree removal, this is not a resolution, this is an IMA. Wow. Just-
Need a drink?
This is an intermunicipal agreement between the Village of Champlain and the Clinton County Soil and Water Conservation District. This agreement is entered into this, I guess it's 10th day of November, by and between the Village of Champlain, a municipal corporation in the County of Clinton and State of New York, with its principal office at 11104 State Route 9, Champlain, New York, hereafter referred to as the Village, and the Clinton County Soil and Water Conservation District, a conservation district in the County of Clinton and State of New York, with its principal office at 6064 Route 22, Suite 1, Plattsburgh, New York, hereinafter referred to as the district. Whereas the Clinton County Soil and Water Conservation District applied for and received grant funding from the New York State DEC Urban and Community Forestry Grants Program for ash tree management in disadvantaged communities. Whereas the Village of Champlain is responsible for maintenance of the roads and public trails in the village, which includes trimming and removal of hazardous trees from the public right-of-way. And whereas the village desires to participate in the ash tree management program and benefit from the removal of ash trees along village roads and trails. And whereas the removal of ash trees from said sites will meet a community need in these areas of the village for reducing hazards to the public along the adjacent roads. And whereas the parties desire to enter into this agreement pursuant to Article 5-G of the New York General Municipal Law to delineate their respective roles, responsibilities, and financial obligations related to the implementation of the grant. Now, therefore, it is hereby agreed by and between the parties hereto as follows. Purpose and scope of work. The purpose of this agreement is to establish a cooperative framework for the implementation of the Northern Tier Ash Tree Management Grant. The scope of work is to be performed under this agreement shall include, but not be limited to, conducting a comprehensive ash tree inventory, developing a management plan for identified trees, procuring and overseeing contractors for tree removal, replanting activities, including the selection and planting of new trees, financial management and reporting to the granting agency. Number 2, responsibilities of the village. That the village will work with the district to identify, locate, mark, and map ash trees along village roads and public trails in the Village of Champlain. The village shall help to notify and educate the public about the program and its benefits. That the Village Department of Public Works will assist the district in identifying locations of hazardous ash trees and provide to the district assistance with project oversight to ensure the success of the grant-funded project. The village shall allow the district to issue a request for bids for the removal of ash trees along village roads and public trails, and allow the district to engage a contractor to oversee those removals. Number 3, responsibilities of the Clinton County Soil and Water Conservation District. The district shall be responsible for acting as the project manager for the implementation of the grant, providing technical expertise and guidance for all project activities, developing and managing the project's work plan, serving as the primary grant recipient and liaison with the granting agency, providing the village with all necessary documentation related to the grant, approving all major decisions related to the project scope and budget, administering the procurement process for contractors in accordance with the New York State procurement policies and the grant's requirements, maintaining detailed records for all project activities and expenditures, preparing and submitting all required reports to the granting agency. Number 4, the financial provisions. Grant funds. All grant funds shall be managed by the district and dispersed in accordance with the grant's regulations and this agreement. Payment. The district shall be responsible for payment of invoices submitted for the removal of ash trees by the contractors. The district shall seek reimbursement from New York State for all eligible project costs incurred by the project, including direct costs and administrative overhead, as outlined in the detailed budget. Number 5 is the term and termination. This agreement shall become effective on the date first written above and shall remain in effect for the duration of the grant, including any extensions, unless terminated earlier as provided herein. Either party may terminate this agreement upon 30 days written notice to the other party for a material breach of the terms of this agreement. Number 6 is indemnification and insurance. Each party shall be responsible for its own acts or omissions and shall indemnify and hold harmless the other party from any claims, damages, or liabilities arising from its negligent acts or omissions in the performance of this agreement. Each party shall maintain adequate general liability and other insurance as required by law and shall provide certificates of insurance upon request. Number 7 is miscellaneous provisions. This agreement constitutes the entire understanding between the parties and supersedes all prior negotiations and understandings. This agreement may not be amended except by written instrument signed by both parties. This agreement shall be governed by and construed in accordance with the laws of the state of New York. All notices required under this agreement shall be in writing and delivered to the parties at the addresses listed above. In witness whereof, the parties have executed this agreement on the date first written above. So I need a motion.
So
to-
move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries, and this will be signed and sent to them. Okay, we did the Climate Smart Community Task Force, so we don't need to do that one. We did the Water Board report. So next we have the water tank maintenance agreement renewal. We have discussed some of this. I guess I'll go ahead and read through it. Water tanks maintenance contract. This contract made this day of, whoops, wait, am I reading the right one? So the dates haven't been changed, or do I have an old copy?
I have the old one that's part of the water.
The one I have says 2022.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading. I just wanna make sure that I didn't pick up the wrong one.
the only one I have.
Okay, well, the first one was signed in 22, so I can go ahead and just read through it. Hereinafter referred to as the town and the village of Champlain, located in Clinton County, state of New York, hereinafter referred to as the village, both municipal corporations of the state of New York on behalf of Water District Number 6 and the town of Champlain, and any existing or consolidated district of the town may hereinafter establish the district. In consideration of the promises and mutual covenants and contracts hereinafter set forth, the town and village hereto mutually agree as follows. Whereas the town and village hereby agree that this contract shall govern and apply to both tanks owned by the town, which are located within the boundaries of the town. Whereas one tank is located on the West Service Road and one tank is located on Prospect Street, both in the town of Champlain. These tanks store and furnish water to the shared system between the town and village. The scope of contract, the maintenance, the village agrees to share half of the cost of such maintenance on each of the water tanks. The town will be responsible for scheduling all required maintenance, however, this will be communicated and agreed upon between both parties prior to scheduling. This will be based upon either required routine maintenance or maintenance required due to failing or distressed equipment identified by village or town operators. Number 2 is insurance. The village agrees to share half the cost of insurance on each of the water tanks. The town will be responsible for purchasing the required insurance. The term of this contract shall be 3 years. This is the old one though.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
we-
so
we
it's
don't
down
have-
below, subject to the, right? Yeah, subject to the provisions of section 3-5, the term of this contract shall be 25 years commencing on November 14th, 2025, unless earlier terminated pursuant to the provisions hereof or as otherwise provided by law or regulation. Notwithstanding the foregoing, the term of this contract shall not expire, and this contract shall remain in full force and effect, and the parties hereto covenant and agree that no material amendments may be made to this agreement for the duration of the New York State EFC financing in connection with the Consolidated Water Project. Conditions for termination or renewal of contract: at least 1 year prior to the expiration of the term of this contract, each party to the contract shall advise the other party of its intention to terminate or renew this contract. In the absence of such notice from either party, the parties hereto agree that the term of this contract shall be renewed on a month-to-month basis, with the understanding that there must be at least a 6-month notice by either the town or village to terminate this contract after the end of the original term. The notice to terminate or renew this contract must be sent to the non-terminating or non-renewal party by certified mail, return receipt within the time frame set forth in this contract. Number 4 is payment procedure. Within 30 days of receipt of the charges for said maintenance, the town will invoice the village for 50% of the total bill, and a copy of the original bill will be provided to the village. The village will be required to pay said invoice to the town within 30 days. Number 2, within 30 days of receipt of the charges for renewal of insurance, the town will invoice the village for 50% of the total bill, and a copy of the original bill will be provided to the village. The village will be required to pay said invoice to the town within 30 days. Miscellaneous, number 5, the town and the village agree that in the event they cannot resolve a dispute or a disagreement arises concerning any term or condition of this maintenance contract, then each party hereto will appoint a person to arbitrate and settle the dispute before the next billing. The 2 persons so appointed will in turn select a 3rd person to act as an arbitrator. The 3 arbitrators will review the facts that caused the dispute. The decision of the majority, at least 2 of the arbitrators, will be binding upon the parties hereto. All expenses for this arbitration procedure will be equally shared by the town and village. Two, this document contains the entire contract between the town and village and may not be changed, modified, altered, or in any way amended except by contract in writing signed by an authorized person for each party. The contract has been agreed to and approved by resolution of the town board of the town of Champlain and by resolution of the village board of trustees of the village of Champlain. A certified signed copy of the resolution passed by each board will be exchanged.
So move.
Okay, let's pass a motion on it.
This is, to be clear, this is the one that we discussed last meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the water tank maintenance contract, that expired last July, and we missed the date to renew it. So the major change is the, recommendation that it be a 25-year contract rather than a three, I think it was a three, rather than a 3-year contract. But, go ahead and make a motion, cause we'll discuss it.
Motion to approve the resolution or the agreement,
Yeah, the contract.
contract.
Yeah. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. Discussion.
Where did the 25 years come from?
I think it's the length of the loan for the project. The EFC, that was EFC funded, I think. Because we would have about, it was a 30-year, and we would have, we must be 5 years in. Or-
It was 18, so 7 years in. Wasn't 18 and we didn't put the tanks online. So I imagine it was 17 or 18 when they
Yeah.
took the.
So as written, this is every 3 years?
No, this is
No,
after
25.
Okay,
25.
okay, understood.
It was a 3-year contract, and we missed it, we missed the date. We both missed the date in July. So, you know, we need the agreement. I feel similarly in that I like to look at these agreements more often than 25 years.
So who put the 25 years in there?
The town.
The town did, okay.
So the 25 is reflected in what we just, what we're voting on right now? Or is
Yeah.
it still as 3 and we're saying we want it to be,
No, their recommendation
it's 25?
is 25.
I have no problem with signing 25. I mean, again, it's one of those things where you pick and choose. But yeah, for 25 years for water tanks, that, I mean, again, Mike knows a lot more than I do about water tanks. I don't know how often they're gonna be serviced or replaced or manhandled or cleaned or whatever it might be, but if we're missing the deadline for the last one, because we just overlooked it, then maybe
Not for the cleaning, just for the agreement.
for the agreement, yes, so that's what I'm, that's what
Yeah,
I mean.
we
If we're not,
just-
if it's not something that we're thinking about and no one's got eyes on it of saying like this might
Well, it
be
was just, it
problem,
was a
then we-
paper, you know, I mean, we just missed signing the paper. I'm not sure if you miss one time, if that means you should
Yeah.
extend it to 25 years.
Yeah, multiply it by 5 to 6 times. What do we think is appropriate then? 5 years?
I mean, we were both fine with 3 years, 3 years ago, but we did miss it. It's a matter of,
So you go to 25 years instead of 3 because it got missed?
that's the proposal.
I just don't know the rationale why 25 years.
I mean, the only thing the only problem I could ever foresee, is that the cost of repairing or maintaining one of these pieces of equipment becomes so high that we cannot, you know, responsibly afford to pay our 50%, and then it comes into the question of, you know, we've signed it for 25 years.
I think that's something we have to.
We don't have a choice in that.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's a
I mean,
shared project.
Yeah.
The village has no
That's-
choice in that.
That's true.
So who chooses what company they get to do it?
I would assume the town chooses
town.
the company just as the village would choose if we were making a repair to something.
but.
It should be
but
together, I
we-
mean, when they did the other tank, I got called that more, hey, you gotta drain that tank, with no notification ahead of time or anything, I mean, I don't know, that's just something that should be agreed on between
Well,
both of them,
This
but.
is
Well, I
kind of what
would,
that refers to, right?
I
there.
guess my question in regards to the, like a capital repair is in the IMA for the plant, the, because it's in the village, we notify the town for approval before we agree to anything. It kinda seems to me like the same thing would be in this.
Unless it's an emergency.
Oh, well, yeah, I know, but, yeah, I don't know. Kim, can you address that? Because I know your water board report always has about the capital repair, the reminder about the capital repairs.
We're gonna start opening up and nitpicking at every little thing that we're doing on this now, and why is it 3 years later now we're gonna decide to make all these changes to these agreements that are going to stand for the duration of this project.
Yeah, so why are we changing it to 25? Why don't we leave it at 3?
I'm not in charge of doing that, so I cannot speak for
Yeah.
why that was put in
I
there.
don't know. And then the other thing I mentioned is, it seems to me like, I mean, I don't wanna open up the IMA, but I'm wondering if that capital repairs thing could be added to this maintenance for the water tanks.
But isn't there something in there? I closed
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
iPad is dying.
there is.
About capital projects and that the
Yeah.
village needs to be notified. So if that's in there and that's the case, what more do you need to add to that?
I think of the, yeah, let me see, I thought it was,
Under maintenance, there is information about the agreement between both parties prior to scheduling.
yeah, for
And-
required maintenance
And then
prior to scheduling.
it talks about failing or distressed equipment identified by village or town water operators.
Maybe that's enough. That's probably enough. I think we're just down to the time again, the length of the contract. Any other comments? We have a motion. You wanna just vote on it?
That can be amended at any time. If it were to be set at 25 years,
Yeah, but why would we,
well, you wouldn't. but
why would we look at it?
Just as a.
I think as long as both parties agree, and I think that's what it said, based on the.
Yeah, it can be amended, as long as both parties agree, yes.
I'm ready to vote.
Okay, let's vote. Roll call, please.
Trustee Chombley,
Okay, let me,
Uh-huh.
are we voting the way
To
it's?
accept it at 25 years.
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
Aye.
trustee Connor,
Staying.
trustee Herzog,
Alright,
Mayor McFetrich.
Nay. Passes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tree ordinance. This is kind of lengthy, and I don't know that you have all had time to study it. Can you give me some input? Have you had time to really read this over? Because it could be tabled. Here's the thing, so, this is a tree ordinance that we have had for, it was rewritten last year, and I believe you did vote on it. But it has to be it has to be put into our code. And it's pretty lengthy and it's pretty detailed, and we could put it off to next month and everyone could spend more time looking it over if you haven't had time. If you have had time and you wanna go through it right now, I'm happy to do that.
So this is in our code, or?
It is not in our code, and we don't have much in our code regarding trees. So this all has to do with being a Tree City USA, it has to do with the grant that we just got, it has to do with tree planting and standards. We don't have a lot in our code regarding trees. It has to do with who has the authority and the power to prune trees, maintain them. How does the board want to proceed?
I think we should maybe table till next meeting.
Do you wanna make that a motion, Chuck?
Make a motion, we table the tree ordinance till our next meeting in December.
8. Okay, is there a second?
Can I just ask a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is what we already have on the books, and then we're trying to make sure that we modify what we have to reflect it in the same, like, organizational structure as the other one, or?
So, so this is a tree ordinance, but it really has to be called a local law.
It has to have teeth. essentially.
And, yes, and it has to be a local law that we passed and we have a public hearing for. Some of this is already in our code, but our code doesn't deal a lot with trees. So it needs to be looked at more carefully. And some parts may be taken out, you know, it's gonna be up to the board on,
Janet,
yeah.
do you think things that are in the code right now will need to be taken out and this is replacing them?
Possibly if they're not in sync.
Okay, so we need to know that
Copy of
when
code.
we submit this local law,
Yes, I know.
to take things out,
Yeah.
so it might be, and that has to be approved too by
And
the
then what?
board? That would have to be approved by the board too,
Yes.
so maybe tabling it and have all that information for the next
Yes.
meeting?
I definitely wasn't going to say that we should pass this tonight.
No.
I thought we might do a working session of revising it, but I think it's getting late and this is a lot of information and there's no reason to deal with it tonight. Okay, so we have a motion, correct?
Yes.
All right.
In a second.
All in favor of
I
tabling
didn't
this?
Second.
this.
Oh, okay. All in favor of tabling this?
Aye.
Okay. That passes. Lake Champlain, Lake George Regional Planning Board proposal. So Allison Gaddy of the Lake Champlain, Lake George Regional Planning Board has come up with a couple of possible grants that we might want to pursue at no cost to us. One is a housing needs assessment, which identifies what types of housing is needed in the community and in the future. We qualify for this because we're a pro-housing community. Another option is a market study, so you can know what the community's needs are. Helps to determine what's actually viable in the local housing market. And then finally, there's a third option of combining the two of those for a comprehensive housing needs and market analysis, which would provide a better understanding of the current housing conditions, identify unmet needs, and evaluate market opportunities. So she needs to know what we want to pursue, if anything. So I need some input from you on how you want to proceed.
No cost for any of it.
No, she said there is no match requirement for the municipality. So the choices would be a housing needs assessment, or a market study, or combining the two for a comprehensive housing needs and market analysis. There's no guarantee we're going to get awarded this, but the grants are out there. And we know housing is a
All right,
prime concern,
I'd say the combination of the two that you mentioned.
okay?
It'd be good to have the assessment, the needs assessment.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
wouldn't you need that before doing a market study?
It seems like it, and I think they do it in that,
Right.
probably in that order.
Yeah.
How do the rest of you feel? The
Combination.
combination one? Okay,
Yeah, I would say the housing one would be first. I'm wondering which one's the most competitive. But
oh, yeah, I have no idea. She did say, I think there's good rationale to combine the two for us. Yeah,
Yeah, go for that one.
okay. Well, I'm supposed to tell her by November 10th.
It is November
Yeah,
I
okay.
know, I
It's in-
know.
it's in the mail.
I'm going to
So,
email her
you
when I
got
get, I'm gonna email her when I get home.
It's not midnight yet.
Okay, so the combined,
Right,
okay, thank you. Certification of unpaid taxes, this is a real property law, 1436. That, can you explain this better, Mary?
No, just the board just needs to compare the original tax roll with what's being re-levied. And it's, the full tax roll, like I said, was available for viewing if anybody wanted to look at it. The second page is the items that have been re-levied this year. I just need everybody to look at it, sign it, and agree to it. And we'll file that.
All right. Under old business, we have the .gov website, which I have no new information on.
Yeah.
We have the Ron Hicks request. I have not spoken to him again. And then we talked about a water shut-off fee, final reading fees. Gosh, where did I put that?
so it's,
Yeah, well, this one is, that's the town, so I
Right.
did get a copy of what the town does, and they have a final meter read of $20. And then, did I send you my notes?
I don't think so.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I did some research on some other, final reading. And they range from between $30 and $50. Currently, to turn off, to turn on is $25. Correct, Mike?
You have to ask Mary, she's the one in charge of it. I don't
Yes,
know.
$25 to turn on
25.
or turn off.
I think so.
So and again, we don't have to decide this tonight, but the ones that I found, and believe me, some of them are really high. I mean, some of the places in this state are, after hours are $100. 106, 110, and there was one that was 175 for after hours.
Well, you gotta pay a guy 2 hours time and a half.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I don't know how many final readings we have after hours, but I suppose it's a possibility.
We just
It
had
wouldn't
one,
even
right?
be just a final reading, it would be if somebody needs their water shut off. If you had to call somebody, it wouldn't just be for the
Right,
final reading.
I know, the original question came up though, is a cost for final reading, because we don't even have one. The town has one, we don't even have a final reading cost, so we weren't doing anything.
The other thing, I don't know if it's in there, but when these people don't pay their water and you gotta go shut them off, turn them on, there should be a cost for each one of those too. That's something that needs to be looked at. When we gotta go deliver papers, you know, we mail them, then we gotta go deliver them, all those costs should be, I mean, it's taking time, quite a bit of time on a lot of them. That should all be, there's no really penalization for the people that don't pay their water bill. So that's something else that you probably wanna look at as well and put them all, you know, get them all together.
Yeah. Well, maybe the best thing is to, assign it to the committee, to the Water and Sewer Committee, to come up with some recommendations. I mean, I'm happy to share the research I found already, which is much higher than we're charging for anything.
Well, I think we probably should charge something. And if it's after hours, I mean, we just can't eat the cost of that. I mean, that's not something that's really budgeted. So, I
Right.
mean, we should get compensated somewhat.
Yeah.
Kim?
I agree. I'm not gonna make a suggestion tonight on
Cost,
what it costs for
price,
this.
yeah.
I don't have a suggestion either. Aside from the little bit that I found that shows us as being very low.
The rate of the man that goes, I mean, really that changes, right? You could put an average,
Yeah.
it could be between this and
Could
this.
be an
I mean,
average.
Look at your high guy and your low guy,
Mhm.
depending who, cause that does change. There
Right.
should be something for sure.
Yeah,
But do we normally do off-hour?
No, but it could be for regular shut off too.
Right,
'Cause we
well,
got a
I'm saying,
$25
I'm
shut off fee,
looking,
but
yeah, I'm looking at, after hour. What
Ti-
we,
for readings, typically not, unless the lawyer calls late and then you gotta go late, but for any shut, for a shut off, if you gotta do a call out, it's a call out. Still gotta have some kind of rate put in there, so
right,
you have something to, and usually if somebody calls me, I let them know.
well, if they call
you know.
late, couldn't it wait till the next day?
It all depends, if it's for a leak, then no,
Okay,
you know what I mean?
well, yeah, okay.
For a shut off, if somebody has a leak and you have to
Yeah.
go out, somebody's still gonna pay their wage, it's not fair that the village
Yeah,
residents
that's
to
true.
absorb for, so there needs to be something, something in there. 'Cause a lot of times people, they may have an issue, and it's not really an issue, not really our issue, maybe it could be a sewer, could be and we'll go, but if we find it's not something on ours, if it's on your end, then we're gonna have to charge you, one guy, 2 hours, time and a half. And then most of the time, oh no, we won't, you know what I mean, then they'll look further into their own, just because it's not fair if the village residents have to pay every time, and sometimes it's not really even, you get there and it's totally something different than what they called about. But there needs to be something in there for fees, and there's a bunch of them, even like like I say, when we have to go, there should be something in for notices too, when we have to go and deliver notices, then go shut off, then go turn back on after they pay their bill, that's 3 months late or 2 months late. There should be charges for all that as well.
well, I think I would turn this over to the committee and come up with some possible recommendations. And then we'll discuss it at the next meeting. I'm not ready tonight to come up with anything.
No.
All right, so that's what I would ask. Is there any other business? Anything I missed? Thank you all, I know it's been a long meeting. We have a motion to adjourn. So, a second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, everyone.
Here, I will run this